So I've got a heart-shaped silicone mould. I've painted 6 already with melted chocolate. So this is a really dark, high cocoa content chocolate that I've just melted on the agar. And with a silicone brush, I'm just brushing the inside of the moulds. Make sure you don't miss any bits, and you can be quite liberal because we're going to turn these upside down on my cooling rack in a moment to drain any excess chocolate off. But you don't want to have, you want to have the shells thin enough so when you tap into them it breaks easily with a spoon, but not so fragile that when you turn them out they're going to crack. I think I've got those all covered. Good look. And turn it down there and then just leave. So the first thing to do is to soak your gelatine. I've got, I'm going to use 4 leaves of gelatine. These are whole leaves, and then what you buy in the supermarket, leaves like this, and they're actually what I would classify as half leaves. So I'm going to use these 3 leaves plus those next 4 leaves, and then I'm going to soak those in cold water for 3 or 4 minutes to soften up, and then I'll heat those in some lemon juice. So whilst that's soaking, I'm going to get on and mix my eggs. I have 2 egg yolks and 1 whole egg in there, and the other 2 egg whites are in here for later. I'm going to add 2 ounces of sugar, and I'm going to whisk this until it forms a trail. So you can see it's now formed trail. And it'll hold a trail for 1, 2, 3 seconds when you take the whisk across it. I've just heated my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is about half a lemon. And as you can see that the leaf gelatin has now gone all soft. I'm just draining out the water, and I'm going to dissolve that in my hot lemon juice. And that's all nicely dissolved. So that's going to go in with my sugar and egg yolks, as is my a pound of pureed and then sieved raspberries. Put that in. Lovely pink colour. And then I'm just going to put that in the fridge for a few moments whilst I whisk my cream, so it can just start the setting process. So I've whisked the cream so it's fairly thick. You don't want to over whisk the cream because you're going to be mixing it in with your raspberry mousse mixture, which is obviously will cause the cream to whip a little bit more, and you don't want to end up with over whipped curdled cream. So you can just hold that in. Beautiful pink colour. And again, I'm going to pop that back in the fridge to carry on chilling, and whilst I whisk my 2 egg whites. Okay, so the egg whites are now at soft peak. It's holding a peak. Those are ready to add into my mousse mixture. It's very important to use scrupulously clean whisks and bowls for egg whites. If you get any fat in there, which includes any egg yolk, then they won't whisk completely up. So my mousse mixture has started to thicken and is holding a trail. So I'm going to add my egg whites in. This is where you have to fold very carefully because you don't want to knock the air out of the egg whites. What a pretty pink colour. So all the egg white is folded in there, but not over folded to lose the volume. And now I'm going to scoop some of the mousse mixture into my chocolate moulds. So now I've filled my moulds with my mousse, and I'm going to put them in the freezer to freeze for a couple of hours, because that'll just make it easier to unmould them. These out of the freezer, and I'm just going to unmould them. I've drizzled some chocolate onto my plate and left it to set, and now I'm going to put some coulis onto the plate that I made earlier with some liquidized raspberries with some sugar syrup and a little bit of framboise. The chocolate hearts will take 30 minutes to defrost, so you have plenty of time, and because they're actually in mousse, they're not going to melt everywhere onto your plate. They'll hold their shape. So I'm going to put a chocolate heart onto the plate, and then I have some chocolate ice cream, some raspberry sorbet, and some raspberries and blueberries that I'm going to garnish the plate with. Icing sugar that I'm just going to put on top of the raspberries now. That one's just toppled over. Yeah, and then I'm going to add some chocolate ice cream and some raspberry sorbet, and then these few berries. So let's put some chocolate ice cream on first. And let's have a scoop of raspberry sorbet. And then raspberries. And whoops, blueberry, that's a scoop of sorbet. One more scoop of ice cream, I think. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and put a comment in the comment box down below to let us know what you'd like to see next.